2-mile circle, the view of Combray from the train consisted solely of the church. The church epitomized it, represented it, and spoke of it, and in its name to the distance. The roads that lead to the region of Lika through the Plitvice lakes and the mountains of Kapela are sealed off with roadblocks and tanks. The Chetnik terrorists and the Yugoslav Federal Army prevent access to the areas with a Croatian majority. There's a roundabout way via the Adriatic Highway from Rijeka to Seine, Sveti Juraj, and then through the mountain of Velebit. The sun shines on the Velebit countryside, its clear air and unspoiled beauty. Then, as we approach the mountain village of Krasno, we see the first sights of atrocities. A house has been hit by a bomb from a warplane, killing a family with 3 children. The Serbian political leadership talks of the need to protect the oppressed and unarmed Serbian population. Along the road to Otrotac, the ruthless aggressors have burned Croatian homes to the ground. Not a single Serbian house has been destroyed in the Otočac region. There are no ruins in places with a Serbian majority in Lika: Korenica, Lapac, Gračac. The Serbian propaganda machine broadcasts its reports. In the world capitals, the orchestrated efforts of the powerful propaganda mechanism of the Yugoslav and Serbian diplomacy and secret service creates the image of a peaceful, innocent Serbia, as the Serb-dominated Yugoslav Air Force destroys the evidence of Croatian existence. The old road through Lika from Otočac to Gospić is the target of the enemy weapons. The way leads between Chetnik knives and sudden bursts of machine gun fire. The road goes on along the Adriatic coast and the foothills of Velebit to the town of Karlobag. The Serbian Academy of Arts and Sciences has drawn the southern border of the Croatian territory here. The line goes down from Virovitica to Karlovac and then to Karlobag. The Chetniks, supported by Serbian volunteers and the White Eagles, a notorious paramilitary organization, have tried to gain control of the road between Karlobag and Gospić, planning to enter the besieged capital of the Lika region and then to reach the coast. In the decisive battle, the Chetnik forces were defeated. The streets of Gospić have taken on an abstract look. The scenes are without precedent. A couple of days before the planned attack, a large majority of the Serbian population fled the town with cynical callousness, awaiting the moment of their triumphant return. The war has crushed the illusions of coexistence that had lived on for generations. The Yugoslav army and the well-armed Chetniks continue with the job begun 5 centuries ago by their forefathers who had come to Croatia as Turkish auxiliaries, earning a reputation for brutality. Atrocities are committed out of hatred of all things Croatian. It wrecks churches, destroys graves, burns libraries in an effort to erase the name of Croatia forever. Lika faces the hardest times in its history. The fate of Lika was decided in the summer of 1991. The aggressor met with fierce resistance. The Croatian emigre communities in Europe, Canada, North and South America send aid. The imminent defeat of the enemy could be felt in the fall. The Croatian army forced the army base in Gospic to surrender. The armed supplies were taken. The enemy shelled Gospic from their strongholds in Ostrovica, Medak, Pochetel, Lički Osijek. The Serbs went on with their plan to change the ethnic structure of the population, just like in World War II, when they burned the villages of Boricevac and Gudore to the ground and slaughtered the inhabitants, thus erasing these Croatian villages from the map, and when they killed or drove away from their homes the inhabitants of the Croatian town of Udbina. They announced the moment of their triumph with the deafening thunder of their cannon. They've planted mines by the ruined walls of the Church of St. Jacob in Bilaj. The Church of St. Rokos in Ričice, 311 years old, has been razed to the ground, as well as the Church of Mary Magdalene and St. Michael in Lovinac, the Church of St. John the Baptist in Svitsa, the Church of St. Joseph in Lički Osijek. The Serbs cannot see that the soul of this community lives on under the rubble. They cannot understand how men here can fight back the forces of chaos and persist despite the hardship, the exile, the horror of war and atrocities. golden rays of sun no longer shine through the shattered rose windows. The clear chords of the organ no longer ring with joy. The bells no longer ring the Angelus. The dead beauty of remembrance still flows forth from the little spire of the church on the forest edge. On a Sunday morning, the quiet service under the boughs soothes the sorrow for the dead and the terrible feeling of emptiness in the destroyed houses and villages. In anticipation of the next Serbian atrocity, men have overcome the fear of death. Nothing and nobody has ever managed to vanquish the will of the people to fight back against those that try to destroy their Croatian identity and liberty.